driver coaching and the mental aspect behind racing. Could you briefly describe it?
Well, if you look at the top level of motorsport, driver coaching is used in Formula One. Not only do they have driver coaches, they have their own doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, the whole gamut with their drivers, because they're right at the top of the sport. And you'll find coming down through other top levels of motorsport, your V8 supercars, over at the NASCAR drivers over in America, they all have coaches. Building confidence, giving people the motivation and the confidence in themselves that they can go further and just extend themselves. And at the top levels of sport, that's where driver coaching or race engineers are commonplace. Other levels of motorsport, they're pretty much unheard of. Everybody just seems to be out there on their own, working it out for themselves, going out trying to drive faster. You feel like you're going faster, but you're not. So the fast laps actually feel slow compared to the ones where you're over driving. Something which I think every driver can use and get benefit from. A book called Speed Secrets, written by a man called Ross Bentley, who's in North America. Ross was an IndyCar driver in the early 90s, won the American Road Racing Championship and also the Daytona 24 Hours. In recent years I actually had Ross out here to do some coaching seminars for myself and some other drivers, and I'm looking to bring him out again next year to do some coaching. I've got one of his books here for iRace to give away at the end of this meeting, just to bring people's attention to it. Ultimate Speed Secrets, which is basically a condensation of all of his other books. If you know that you can improve your lap times by doing nothing to the car, but only doing things to the way you're driving, the way you mentally approach it, the way you reach the limit, also the way you can basically switch yourself on and off from being in the zone. Maybe there's a distraction on the track, maybe there's something happens and all of a sudden you've lost the rhythm. You need to get back into that straight away, and having techniques, mental triggers to put yourself back in that zone in the click of a finger so that you're back doing what you're doing. Driving is all mental, it's all mental. Our brain controls everything in our bodies. To be able to develop that, to develop the driver, is something that everybody should be interested in doing. Leaving the driver out of the equation, I think, is a big mistake, and I think it's starting to change. Ross Bentley is recognised as one of the best driver coaches in the world. He coaches a lot of IndyCar drivers and NASCAR drivers. A lot of the drivers he coaches, they don't want people to know that he coaches them. So he's very heavily involved in that sort of thing. You've got people in Australia such as Paul Stokel and Ian Luff, those type of guys that can do that. I've done a little bit of coaching myself at Marulan Driver Training Centre, which is run by Gary Wilmington. Well, driver coaching, basically it helps you develop the skills to be able to coach yourself, because you can't have a coach with you all the time unless you are a Formula One driver or a V8 supercar driver that you can refer to. It lets you realise that there's always more. It doesn't matter how fast you're driving, you can always get more. There's always some other tenths of seconds that can be found, and it helps you get the confidence to be able to find those things. And buy the Speed Secrets book. This is available if you go somewhere like Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon, and you can also buy it as an ebook. And there's also an iPhone app which I find very useful. It's called Driver Coach, and there's always things to try, and that's what makes motorsport so much fun. It's always learning, getting better, getting faster and pushing the limit. iRace offers an excellent way to get involved in motorsport. It's a very well run and friendly atmosphere, and the division that I'm running in, because they have handicap races, it gives me the opportunity of starting at the front and being passed, and hopefully passing some other cars, and gives me a lot of experience in that areas, which I'm really interested in doing because I'm learning myself.